now for our starting lineups from point guard to center. This game should be a good one. Okay, first for the Bulls. D. Rose and Jimmy Butler at the back. Down low, the two-time NCAA champion in Florida, the 6'11" tornado of energy and effort. It's the big man, Joakim Noah. Then it's Dang, and it's Boozer in at the 4. And looking at Utah, pairing up in the backcourt, Trey Burke and Alec Burks. And in the middle, standing 6'11", 270, the talented scorer and rebounder out of Turkey, the big man, Enes Kanter. And it's Hayward, and it's Favors in at the 4-man position.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
And you hear the crowd kind of murmuring. I don't think they agreed with the officials on that one.
Steve, I tell you what, they're really letting them have it. You know, Utah usually matches up well with Eastern Conference teams because style of play is similar. Both Eastern Conference and the Jazz like to play a grinded-out physical game, and Utah has the bigs and the defensive mentality to thrive in a slower-paced game, and that's why they went 17-13 against the Eastern Conference.
Good on the second free throw. On back to the Jazz against the East. Did what they needed to do against the conference as a whole, winning more than they lost, but they also, Steve, had some key setbacks.
And the big one that I can remember was last year where they had that 4-game road trip to the East Coast. They went 0-4, and that was when they saw their grasp on a playoff spot start to slip away.
And here is Burke. We're about 1 minute into the first. Rose with the rebound.
Derrick Rose really such a huge part of the Bulls' attack offensively, but defensively is an area where he's made a lot of progress as well. Of course, he uses so much energy at the offensive end, but I don't think the Bulls can count on him to pressure the ball too much, but he's gotten to the point where he's usually in the right spot. Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
He sure did. I mean, that was a very late reaction from the defense there.
And it's good. Through contact, it's the shot. He'll go to the free throw line. And when you think about Derrick Rose's improvement as a defender, certainly the impact of Coach Tom Thibodeau has been a huge help.
Yeah, without question. That relationship between he and Rose has gone a long way towards the success of this team. Rose has been coachable, and Thibodeau has been willing to push his star player, and that's a hand-in-glove fit for success now and going forward.
Well, his body control is what I noticed. I think that jumps off the page when you watch him play, even with a defender draped all over him. He's able to find a way to get to the rim and get the shot to go in.
And that's not all there is to say about him, Steve. I mean, he also is a master of the pick and roll. Get the ball in his hands and set a screen for him, and there will be an easy bucket after.
Shot clock at 3, and so he draws the foul on the shot on trip to the line to shoot 2.
Trey Burke, the National College Player of the Year at Michigan last season. He led the Wolverines in points, assists, steals, and blocks even. And, of course, led them all the way to the NCAA championship game. He's basically a winner. That's what he is.
And Burke declaring for the draft, Clark, after his sophomore season in Michigan.
Yeah, he was driven to be an outstanding player coming out of high school. A little under the radar as a high school player, but had a laser focus on developing and maximizing his ability. Spent 5 to 6 hours a day in the gym over the summers, and you've seen the fruit of that work.
But 3, can't get it to go. Bulls trail by 3. And Dang, here we go. Back to Butler from outside the arc. And that one's good. 3. Butler's got himself on the board with 3 there.
I like the offensive awareness to exploit that lack of coverage on that play.
Stolen by Rose. All alone.
Oh, how about that basketball, fan?
Beautiful.
Wow.
Now, Clark, that is just ridiculous.
Absolutely filthy. I don't remember ever seeing a dunk like that in a game. I certainly can't remember the last time I saw one.
Oh, man, that was just amazing.
Now, here's Burke. He kicks it to Hayward. Here's Favors. The third shot of the possession finally falls for him. Favors has got 7 points in the game. Chicago's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Butler dishes to Noah. From 7, feeds to Boozer. Left side Rose. Shot clock at 6. Fast break. Here come the Jazz. Here's Burke. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Here's Butler, and he caps off the fast break with a monster slam.
Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
Well, he should stay with those basics in a tight ball game because we've got one here tonight.
Now, here's Burke. Here is Hayward. The dish now to Cantor. 8 feet away. Noah with the block. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Rose with the ball. Got a piece of it. 1:24 left in the first quarter. Stolen by Noah. And here we go. The Bulls. Fast break. Here's... Oh!
Look out!
Oh, wow! Just floating to the rim on that slam.
Boy, when he gets up and stays up.
Boy, smooth and graceful. How about the hang time? That's impressive.
1:10 left in the first quarter.
People have talked about the defensive renaissance in Chicago as a big part of their turnaround, and that's accurate. Bibbs has done wonders for this team defensively, but another aspect is that they've had one of the deepest benches in the league the past few years, too.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Here's Rush. Back to Evans. Passes it to Rush. The feed to Lucas. Pass to Rush. Back to Lucas. Just 4 to shoot. Gibson with the steal. And it's Rose penetrating. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. Go back to what you said, Clark, about Chicago. It is a credit to them that they've been able to constantly add or draft talent that is ready to step in for them, and Steve contribute off the bench.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You think about Taj Gibson, a late first-round pick. Jimmy Butler last year really emerged as one of the best young players in the league. Great story. So terrific job by the Bulls front office in figuring out which player to take later in the first round.
Now here's Lucas. Outside Williams. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. Williams has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Bulls have gone 7 of 9 from the field. A really nice start offensively for them. And Gibson kicks to Heinrich. Some nice ball movement by the Bulls. That is good. And that's 11 points for Derrick Rose.
He has really put his foot on the pedal this quarter, doing a tremendous job leading their offense.
Rose against Lucas. Evans outside. Back to Lucas. With 1 on the clock. And they're scoring pretty well as we conclude the first quarter. Bulls lead by 5. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Energy Solutions Arena in Salt Lake City. Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And a chance now to catch up on some numbers with the hustle stats for the Bulls.
Well, they're trying to play fast and trying to put the defense on their heels.
You know, another factor in their offense so far has been their ability to convert and score off turnover.
Rose passes to Gibson. Dunleavy. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
You know, Mike Dunleavy, the former number 3 overall pick back in 2002, you know, he hasn't been a star, but boy, has he been steady and productive in a very long and solid NBA career.
And Dunleavy, very skilled at 6'9".
Yeah, he put up some pretty good numbers in Indiana for a while. He can pass, shoot, handle the ball. Son of a coach, of course, Mike Dunleavy Sr. And you can see where Dunleavy Jr. gets his understanding of the game.
And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Gentlemen, last season it seemed there was a little back and forth between head coach Tom Thibodeau and the Bulls front office regarding the big minutes he gave his starters. Thibodeau said, quote, "It's never the right amount of minutes. That's the only thing I know. If a guy's not playing big minutes, it's not enough minutes. And if a guy's playing big minutes, it's too many minutes. So you play to win. That's the whole thing. And when you're a young team, guys can handle minutes." But guys, both Dang and Noah missed significant time. Noah only playing 66 games in the regular season. Dang out through the last 7 games of the playoffs. You wonder if maybe they have a point.
They've worked to round out the roster. So that should help those minutes stay down. It's good on the putback. Beatrice has got his first bucket in this one.
Smooth, guys. Very good job there of getting himself in close enough that he could just tip it back in.
And you know, those kind of plays in the offensive glass can tell the story sometimes as much as any single play in a game.
Yeah, they really can. I mean, they can't allow him to beat them to so many of those offensive rebounds. That'll kill you.
Here's Heinrich following the basket by Andres Beatrice.
There is no way a player like him can be left wide open like that. Did you pay attention to the scouting report? For the Jazz last season, it really became an issue about the log jam inside. They had 2 established starters in Jefferson and Millsap and 2 young up-and-comers in Cantor and Favors, and there was an expectation that somebody would be moved, but the trading deadline passed and they were all still there.
Here's Noah after the made shot from Evans. Noah's shot is off.
Well, one of his issues is he's a player that just does not excel at fighting through contact on his way to the rim.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's foul number 2 on him. It might not warrant sitting him entirely, but another one before halftime, they could be in some trouble.
Carlos Boozer's checked in for Chicago. Now here's Lucas. Williams for 3. They grab their own miss. Up again. He hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
He never gives up on a missed shot. He feels like everyone is his, and that tip-in paid off for him.
And now running up the court, Rush pushing it all the way. Lucas, that's good.
I think they need to get much more disruptive defensively. They can't just keep allowing these easy baskets.
I agree. They need more energy in the post, maybe some double teaming. They've got to get their defense in gear.
Well, you would have thought that the Jazz would have made a deal one way or another, but it was hard for them as they were in the thick of a playoff race at the time, Steve, sort of tied their hands.
Well, if they weren't in that race, I think they might have sent 1 or 2 of those guys out to try to get some more assets for the future. As it was, they ended up losing Millsap and Al Jefferson, so it's incumbent on the young talent in that front court to now develop and really take over.
Derek Favors checked in for Utah. Heinrich outside. There's Rose with the 3. That's good. 3. Rose has got 14 points.
Offensively, he can be the engine that drives them at any given time.
Lucas against Rose. Lucas kicks to Evans. Back to Lucas. Outside Williams. He dishes it to Favors. Nice ball movement by Utah. Williams passes to Rush. Lets it go with the 3. The shot is off. Now Chicago takes it the other way.
Every year it seems some player has unfortunate experience of seeing their whole season gone before it even gets started. And that happened for Brandon Rush last year, who tore his ACL in just the 2nd game of the season.
Now here's Rose. He's got 14. Dunleavy's shot is off.
Boy, from my angle, it looked like it was in the bottom of the net. Looked good from here.
Yeah, I thought so too, Clark.
And the shot is good. Going back to Brandon Rush. Hit from behind as he was in midair. And Steve, do you think more needs to be done to protect players in that particular situation?
Kevin, I think everything is already done to protect players because the clear path rules, the flagrant foul rules, everything has been done to protect the player's safety. Sometimes it's just inevitable there's going to be injuries.
Boozer had his name floated around at the trade deadline last season, guys. There were a number of teams that were very interested in having his physicality and scoring ability down low.
Alec Burks checked in for Brandon Rush. He doesn't get the second one. And you wonder why Boozer's name would be floated in trade rumors. I mean, one of the top rebounding power forwards in the game, can score inside and outside.
Well, I think, Kevin, teams are becoming more and more cap conscious with the new collective bargaining agreement. Boozer is a very highly paid player, so even though he's productive, I think some people are going to look at that contract and maybe shy away from it.
Dunleavy dishes to Boozer. 5 on the clock. Burke grabs the miss. Burke's got 3 rebounds now in this one.
Boy, you wonder what the score of this game would be if they weren't pulling down all these rebounds.
Love what I'm seeing from them in the paint.
And Doris Burke has something for us. Hey, Doris.
Gentlemen, a talented young front court duo for the Jazz and Derek Favors and Enes Kanter. This summer, they worked out with Jazz legend Karl Malone, one of the all-time great power forwards in NBA history. Whether it was positioning and a technical trick or just the mental aspects of taking on a star role, guys, you couldn't ask for a better teacher.
No question he can help. Thanks, Doris.
Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
And so it's Utah here with the ball after the Bulls pick up 2. Burke's with it. Now guarded by Dunleavy. Tipped away. Dishes to Burke from the baseline. And it's Dunleavy with the rebound.
He slipped into quite a funk here, Clark.
I think that's a good word to describe it. I mean, the basket is looking awfully small to him at the moment.
Boozer gets the bucket. 20 seconds left to play in the first half. Now here's Burke, guarded by Heinrich. Burke can't get it to go.
Some rugged defense there against one of the stronger finishers in the game.
And that is good. And now a 6-point Bulls lead.
And guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with the way they work down low.
Well, it's become one of the stories of the first half, Clark, just piling up points in the paint.
And that does it for the first half of play. It's the Bulls up by 6. Folks, stay tuned.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
This is 2K Sports. I hope your week is off to a good start on this Monday. At the midway point, the Bulls are playing very well. Nice ball movement offensively, making the extra pass, and it's paying off. We've seen Derrick Rose scoring effortlessly against the Jazz D. How's that for a shooting percentage? 100. Yes, 100% from the court. Not too bad. And still hanging in there, the Utah Jazz. Hard to find a lot to like about their performance so far. They'll need to pay much better attention in the second half to the details. The details. Not a great game for Trey Burke so far. Another ragged shooting game for him. He's had more than a few lately. That'll be it for the halftime report. The second half is coming right up. Hope to see you next time.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. We get set to get going once again. Hey, during the break, players getting a chance to refuel and hydrate with some Gatorade, as there is more basketball in store. A fantastic game from Derrick Rose in this one.
It seemed like he made everything he got. I mean, anytime he had an open look, he took advantage of the opportunity there in that first half.
And Steve, they were all good looks. I mean, his shot selection has been terrific throughout the game.
And they've set up countless buckets off assists. That's a huge part of what they've been doing here today.
A lot of dime dropping going on out there, Steve. You know, and one of the more compelling postseason stories, the question about when the Bulls would bring Derrick Rose back just continued to hover around the playoffs. Ultimately, just never happened.
So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there. Well, back to the Bulls, and even without Rose, I think the team made a big statement, Steve, with how they played in the postseason. They showed that they weren't just a one-man show with Rose running things and have a solid core and system that will always compete.
Well, it's the second straight year that the Bulls have essentially been without Rose in their playoff run due to injury. And so I think Chicago fans are kind of wondering what exactly the roof is for this team, the ceiling, if you will. Let's hope that Rose stays healthy this year, so we'll find out. Nice work to get inside and draw the foul.
Yeah, it's obvious. The defense not going to allow many easy layups. They're going to make you earn it from the line. Well, you always hear about how loud this Jazz crowd is at home, and trust me, it is loud. They are a big part of why the Jazz have been so tough at home for so long, but the personnel of the Jazz has had something to do with that as well.
Here's Burke. Smooth as silk on the finger roll.
He had his choice of finishing moves there, and you just got to love the fact he went old school with the finger roll.
And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. And as you said, the Jazz very tough at home as always, Clark, and 30 wins for them in this building last season, which usually, Steve, is enough to get you into the playoffs.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat. 30 home wins and you don't get in. Just shows you how difficult and how tough the Western Conference was.
You know, to me, one reason why Carlos Boozer is such a valuable scorer is that he can hurt you in a multitude of ways inside. He can hit the rainbow jumper of his, and when he's back to the basket, can go over both shoulders very well.
Burke kicks to Favors. The pass to Burks. He feeds it to Burke. The dish to Burks. Shot clock at 5. Pass to Favors. Working on Boozer. From 6 away. Misses off the right iron. And for Boozer, you remember the story. Growing up in Alaska, his dad tied his right hand to his waist, so he'd have to develop his left, and that was something that he worked on even more when he went to Duke.
Well, yeah, his left hand is fantastic. I mean, that's his preferred hand when he's finishing around the rim. Right-handed jump shooter, but anything around the basket is usually his left. So he probably owes his dad a debt of gratitude for tying him up all the time.
That's one way to put it. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
Favors passes to Hayward. Kicks to Burke. There's the 3. Chicago grabs the miss.
Ouch. Another miss to add to what's been a miserable game for him from the field.
And that's out of bounds. Chicago will retain possession.
Yeah, so close to picking that pass off, guys.
At least he got a hand on it. He did what he needed to do to make sure it didn't hit the target.
Boozer dishes to Butler. He kicks to Rose. On the wing, Dang. Outside Butler. Feeds to Boozer. 4 on the shot clock. Fires from deep. Rebounded by the Jazz. Favors got his 3rd rebound tonight. Passes it to Hayward. Nice ball movement by Utah. Gets it to go.
You just can't afford to let somebody get that good position in the paint.
Well, it's more than trouble when he does catch it down there, Steve. He's never going to miss from that range.
Back to Boozer. On the wing, Dang. Pass to Boozer. The feed to Rose. Misses the 3. Jazz trail by 10. Right around 3 minutes into the second half. Favors with a screen on Butler. Favors sets the pick for Burke. He passes it to Cannon. Nice D from Dang.
And excellent interior defense there. Good rotations.
No doubt about it, Steve. He's a real presence inside. Takes up a lot of space.
And finished off by Noah. An indication there of why the scoreboard looks like it does. Very passive defense.
But the finish was anything but passive.
No, he hammered that down, Clark. Superb above the rim action.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Marvin Williams is checked in for Utah. Third quarter action, and just under 3.5 minutes have gone. Boozer kicks it to Noah, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
Guys, that's simply superb. Ball pressure, a run out, and then a dunk in transition.
Exactly, Clark, what they wanted, the aggressive defense to lead to.
Yeah, points in transition.
Yeah, that's why you want to make the other team feel uncomfortable handling the ball, because you can get easy points out of it at the other end.
Stolen by Rose. Fast break, here comes Chicago. Butler kicks it to Noah, and it's thrown down hard with both hands.
Boy, the floor really opened up for him there.
It sure did. I mean, that was a very late reaction from the defense there.
Jazz trail by 16.
Everybody regards Bulls coach Tom Thibodeau as a defensive mastermind, and the numbers back it up again. The Bulls were near the top in every major defensive category, protected the paint, limited fast breaks, and made sure to challenge any shot that went up.
Here's Boozer. Lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Boozer's got 7 points in the game. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for Chicago.
Boy, defensively, they've played with a high energy level, guys, and all the steals we've seen, really a result of that aggressiveness.
Something else they've done is force a lot of mistakes defensively. They've been turning those turnovers into points.
And the Bulls, Steve, 5th in defensive efficiency last season.
And Thibodeau, knowing him, he's probably unhappy with that ranking. This team is so disciplined and hardworking. They always have a chance to be the best defense in the league.
While never a lock for the playoffs, the Jazz were in the driver's seat for a playoff spot up until the All-Star break last season. However, after the second half kicked up again, they just couldn't beat the teams they needed to and lost a lot of ground, letting the Lakers back in the hunt.
Bulls making a switch here. Gibson's checked in.
Fantastic pass. He turned that one into a pretty easy basket for his teammate.
He dishes it to Noah. Puts up the baby hook, and that's off the glass and in. Noah's got 8 points here in this quarter. Of course, the Lakers would eventually pass them up during the final days to snag a playoff spot, but Steve, as you said, it was just a poor run of games for the Jazz right after the All-Star break that did them in.
Well, it would have been nice for this young core to gain some valuable playoff experience, but they did pick up a couple of first-round draft picks. They continue to add talent to this deep roster, and I would think it's just a matter of time before they're back in the playoffs again.
That's good.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting in the paint and keep scoring points. Keep it going.
Yeah, not a lot you can do defensively when they continue to get the ball inside and get these easy shots.
And the official signaled the backcourt violation. Not very careful there.
You never want to point the finger at one person in a team game as to why a team is struggling, but his 5 turnovers have slowed down what the offense has tried to do.
Dishes it to Gibson. Outside Butler. Lets the 3 fly. Utah with the rebound. Evans has got 4 rebounds in this game. Poked away, and it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here. 5 seconds left to play here in the third. 1 second left, and that one is hammered home.
With that reverse jam, the fans got a little extra show there.
That one definitely had something, you're right, extra on it.
That was one of those 3 or 4 plays that you see every night in an NBA game that just leaves you in awe.
Well, through 3 quarters of play, down. And we're rolling here again with the 4th quarter. Might not come down to the wire, but you never know. And so it's Utah here with the ball. It's a 16-point game. Knocked away. The drive by Boozer and the rejection by Lucas. They retain possession. Hacked and still knocked it down. Nice composure.
I don't know what's happening to their defense. I mean, they don't have any effort, any purpose.
And it's really costing them. I mean, the last 5 baskets at that end have been on very easy looks.
Alec Burks checked in for the Bulls.
Guys, Derrick Rose is a native son of Chicago, and he grew up in the dangerous Inglewood neighborhood, the youngest of 4 brothers. But from very early on, his talent for the game was apparent. Those older brothers of his, they shielded him and protected him like an ember of hope for the entire family. And he certainly has allowed his light to shine brightly.
And that's how you exploit a gap in the D, I guess, huh?
Yes, sir. No soft finish there. Major power.
Wow.
He knows an opportunity for the highlight reel when he sees one.
And Clark, back to Rose, the city of Chicago, as you expected, has embraced him. It's interesting, Steve, to be a high pick, but drafted by your hometown team. The pressure is pretty interesting.
I love at the United Center when they introduce him, they just say, from Chicago, and Derrick Rose. But, with all the attention he gets, he's a very private and reserved person. has a lot of respect amongst his teammates because he just handles himself with such class.
The Bulls making a switch here. We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. He feeds it to Williams. The pass to Burke takes a three. The Jazz with another miss. The Bulls leading by 17. And out of bounds as the Jazz gain possession.
Such a careless pass. You've got to keep your head in the game here.
The Jazz have gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Utah calls timeout.
Guys, how about the Bulls being able to nab the 5th seed in the East last season, in large part due to how they were able to play on the road. Of course, when you play tough, solid defense like they do, it makes it easier to be competitive and string together road wins.
About a minute and a half through the fourth quarter now. The D got there too late, and he'll go to the line. And for the Bulls, defense is one of the few things in the NBA that can neutralize a home court advantage. And Steve, a big part of why they had the success they had on the road.
Yeah, they went 21-20 away from the United Center, and one of only 5 teams in the entire East who managed to stay above 500 away from home. That's a real tribute to this team and the coaching staff.
The kick outside to Butler. And out of bounds as Utah gains possession. Just about 1.5 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Now here's Burke. Defense right on him. And it's off the back rim. No good.
Been a rough shooting night for him, but I don't mind that shot. He had a good look at it.
Dang passes to Noah. Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Offensive rebound. Boozer kicks to Heinrich. Off the mark there with the three-point shot. Jazz trail by 16. Burke's with it. Butler covering. Cantor dishes to Burke. And he's finally able to knock one down. Fourth quarter of play, and we're about 2.5 minutes through it right now. It's tipped. Williams with the ball. Now Dang. Back to Butler. A 3-ball. Good. Butler's got 5 points in the quarter.
That's his first 3-pointer of the half. Remember, he did make one in the first half as well.
Here's Burke. And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. They get Carlos Boozer.
And what you like with Trey Burke, he really can do it all at the point guard position. Pass, shoot, he's very poised, under control, and a good leader as well.
And back to Burke at 6'1", not elite size or great athleticism, Clark, for the point guard position, some say.
But he makes up for that lack of size and athleticism with smart and a desire to get better and a really excellent shooting stroke. So I think when you look at Burke, he's a guy that's going to continue to get better.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sidelines.
Well, guys, Tom Thibodeau had some advice for his team in that last timeout. His message, I don't want us patting ourselves on the back just yet. We can congratulate ourselves after the final horn. Right now, we need to go out there and take this one home. Okay, guys?
Thanks again, Doris.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
It feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close.
Williams passes to Burke. Cantor. Arm's length from the hoop. He knocks it down. Cantor's got 4 this quarter.
They've raised their field goal percentage just above 50% here. They actually look like a totally different team than what we saw in the first half. Much better execution offensively.
Now here's Burke. He's covered by Dang. Butler against Williams, and the call will be against Joakim Noah. That's his first foul.
Third team foul.
Here's Burke. Now the dish to Burks. Pass to Burke. 6 to shoot. A stupendous finish in traffic.
We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
Williams with the steal.
At the line for two.
And that one misses.
They're digging their own hole here, throwing dirt on themselves. They haven't been nearly as efficient from the line as they were in the first half, and that can be self-destructive.
Yeah, disappointing trip to the line, even though it was just one miss. Now is not the time to be missing free throws.
Boozer kicks it to Noah. Feeds it to Heinrich. Good on the three-point shot. And the Bulls lead by 17.
This defense is giving their shooters free rein to operate from behind the arc.
That's right. I think it's time for them to start closing down. You've got to run shooters off that three-point line.
Now here's Burke. Guarded closer. Gets the bucket.
Well, it's been a tale of two halves, hasn't it, guys? After a terrible first half, he's really picking it up.
Chicago leading by 15. Puts it up from 15. Noah's shot is off.
Well, I tell you what, that's too good a look to pass up there. Even though it didn't go, that's one you got to take.
Burks kicks to Burke. And the call will be against Joakim Noah. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus. We'll go to the line to shoot two. Derrick Rose is checked in for Kirk Heinrich. Both free throws good from Burke. 51 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And it's Rose penetrating. That's good.
Well, guys, tonight they came in here, really dictated the terms of the engagement, which is very difficult to do as the visitors.
You're right. That's not usually the way things work in the NBA. It's a great win, and no question, it's going to be a happy plane ride out of here.
Here's what Utah's going with right now. Andres Biedrins is checked in for Enes Kanter. Jeremy Evans comes in for Derek Favors. Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Alec Burks. And John Lucas is subbed in for Burke. Hayward. Excellent defense there from Dunleavy. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Rose dishes to Muhammad. Back to Rose from past the arc. Biedrins pulls it in. The Jazz have gone 6 of 9 on their field goal attempts since the start of the fourth quarter. Here's Lucas. Kirk Heinrich with the rebound.
Boy, he blew the easy two by profiling. Trying to look good. That's a bad decision and poor execution.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. Some days, Clark, everything goes right for a team, and they just had one of those games.
Yeah, it certainly was. I mean, these guys played a great all-around basketball game here.
Well, it's time to say so long. For Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan, along with our 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in.